Robert Colonino. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, now, Mr. Colonino, you have 4 parking tickets, and they are all in the area of Summit Avenue and 4th Street.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything you want to tell me about this? Where were you that you were parking on the east side?
I had cancer a while back, and there was times I had to go there for appointments and for blood work and stuff.
You were being treated for your medical condition.
Yes, right? Yes, Your Honor.
All right, now, we are not unmindful of the fact that once you get into any medical facility, right, that the wait is usually 3 times longer than you think.
The appointment,
right?
Correct.
Yeah, your appointment obviously is. So I'm very sensitive to that. Before court, one of the court clerks recognized your name and was telling me a story about your son, who was supposed to be quite an athlete.
Yes, Your Honor. My son was an elite hammer thrower. He actually was ranked 5th in the world, so he was on target to be probably one of our best hammer throwers ever. He had gotten a scholarship to Alabama, and when we arrived in Alabama,
scholarship for the hammer.
For the hammer, and when we showed up there, they did some testing on him, and come to find out, he had cancer, bone cancer, and when he found that out, it was like all his dreams of going to the Olympics and being an athlete was shot down. But more importantly, he was also at a point where he was going to be fighting for his life. So we had to leave Alabama, and I have to say, Alabama was wonderful. They still honored his scholarship despite the fact that he may not ever throw again, and he had the potential of losing his leg. And they said to us that we were part of their family now, and that they take care of their family. So they still honored his scholarship regardless. But we had to come back home and he needed to be treated. So thankfully, between Hasbro Hospital and the Tomorrow Fund and all the doctors there and the nurses and all the people that reached out locally and all over the country that knew him and prayed for him and offered their support in various ways, he was able to beat the cancer.
Oh, that's good.
And now he's doing really well. He started competing again. He brought himself back, and now he's at Alabama. He's cancer-free. So he beat that, and that's the important thing. But he's also made All-American 4 times, indoor, outdoor, indoor, outdoor.
What is your son's name?
Bobby Colantonio.
Same as you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, I got goosebumps as you were talking, you know, the courage of your son and the apprehension and fear that you had, you know, every parent would have for their child. But here's a young man, world-class athlete, Inspector Quinn. Your son's a role model for every young kid who aspires to be an athlete, to be successful. You know, it's like hard work and determination, and occasionally I make speeches, a lot of them, and one of the things I always talk about, particularly with young people, is the one word, and that's perseverance. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, you know. And both you and your son are testimonies to that. I want to congratulate you on being such a great parent.
Thank you, Your Honor. But you know what? As much as I like to think that I'm tough and persevering, you know, my son was the one that, through the whole thing, he just kept saying, "Dad, it's okay. Everything works out for a reason, and everything's going to be okay." And the perseverance on his part is incredible. I mean, especially after everything he went through, and to build himself back up where he's almost at the level that he was at before and almost where he wants to be. I mean, it really is incredible, and you're right. But sometimes it is hard when you get hit with a few things, and it is hard to persevere.
Mr. Colonino, I want you to know that Inspector Quinn is the prosecuting officer, and his job is to prosecute. But Inspector Quinn, I need a recommendation on these tickets. He was getting treatment.
Clearly, Your Honor, based on the explanation and also at the hospital, I know all them streets are near the hospital. It's tough, like you had said earlier, the wait's longer than the appointment, so it'd be impossible to move the vehicle.
A prosecuting officer is recommending that these cases be dismissed. And the only reason he's recommending that is because he's afraid that if he recommended a fine, that everybody in the audience would probably attack him, including me. Matters are dismissed. Good luck to you.
Well, thank you very much for your generosity, Your Honor.